this is crazy. I mean, Mickey Mantle did it in 1964, wow. Joe Carter in 1993. Your buddy Michael Jordan hit that shot in 1989. That's the type of performance, when you think of the pressure that was on your shoulders, that you and your team delivered today.
Yeah, I mean, we came here to win. That's what we did. I mean, it's the same thing we're going to do Monday morning is go to Homestead and try to win and do everything we can, and there will be no stone unturned. It wasn't this week, and it ain't going to be next week either.
You know, Denny, when you look at this and think about the situation, you had this race well in hand. You had done everything. 10-second lead, cruising along. Tell us what that's like as a driver, as a competitor, sitting there, and you see those caution lights come on.
I knew that it was likely, but I was really hoping it wouldn't. I mean, because I knew with that many cars on the lead lap, it was only 8 or so, that it was going to be a little bit mixed bag. And truthfully, I ran so hard that entire last 100 laps, just trying to lap as many as I could to give my crew chief a bigger buffer for if we did come in and take 4 tires, we wouldn't start so far back. So just an insurance policy for us.
Look, Dale and I grew up around this sport. We've been around. We've seen a lot of legendary performances. This one ranks in the top 5 or 6. Dude, today, you proved Denny Hamlin is a championship contender and a champion driver. I mean, this was a huge day. But I want you to take me back through that last restart, because everybody thought when you changed 2, everybody went, oh, my God, it's over. Again. It's over. And Chris, they just interviewed Chris Gebhardt, and his comment was, we wanted to control the restart. Yes. He put it in your hands.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing, to be honest with you, and I think that he tried to get some confirmation from our teammates, and we didn't really get too much confirmation for what we had. But I knew that I was just going to drive as hard as I could, no matter what the call was. I mean, we had a meeting in our hauler. We haven't had a meeting all year. I haven't had a meeting in the hauler with the team in years. But he says, I'm likely, and it's possible that I'm going to make the wrong call, and it's going to cost us a chance to go to Homestead. But we're in this together, and it doesn't matter why we're in this position, but let's go out there and handle business.
Denny, I think everybody since you came into this series has known you're a championship caliber driver. You've been in that position a couple of times, but the Denny Hamlin today is different than those guys. Yeah. He went out and took control of your situation now.
Yeah, this was taking control of the race. I mean, this is just a fast car. I mean, I knew right off the bat, even though we weren't leading, when the 18 was leading, I was kind of hanging right behind him. The 22, the 9, me and the 9 had a crazy battle. I knew that I needed to just check myself, be calm, because when this race got spread out, I was going to go, and we really stretched it out there in the end. And I mean, that's a team. You don't just. I'm not 10 seconds better than the next guy. I have a car that they worked on and prepared and made a setup for that allowed me to do everything I could today.
Yeah, and last week you said the car and the effort would be there, but I want to go back to something, bring up some bad memories here. Everybody remembers you sitting on pit wall with your head in your hands in 2010. This totally erases that. But you made a comment over there earlier where you said this year, instead of, it's a different attitude. You've been waiting on the right thing to happen. Yeah. What does that comment mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that, for so much of my career, especially in the playoffs, it's been like, what's going to go wrong next, right? And I think that attitude just kind of, I don't know, it just breeds it. It doesn't necessarily make bad things happen, but it's not a good place to be. And this year in particular, and with the exception of last week, we just did our thing, and things went right. We prepared correctly and things went right. And this week we prepared correctly and things went right. So yes, I was really, really worried about that last caution coming out, because I knew that likely most of the field would do opposite of what I did. But I had faith that my crew chief had looked at the numbers, thought about it, and made the best decision he thought was possible.
Okay, you did it. You're there. Now you race 2 teammates and Kevin Harvick. All 3 of these drivers that you're competing against have won championship. You're the driver going in trying to keep them at one championship. Handicap your chances against these guys at Homestead. It's taking a win every year in this playoff format.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough group. I mean, there's no downplaying it. This week's success has nothing to do with next week. You can't relate the two, but I know that the car will be there, and the effort will be there.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
Okay, look, we had Kevin last week, and when his we have seen from the time this round started, from Truex at Martinsville to Kevin at Texas, and now you hear dominating performances by the 3 guys that are moving on to Homestead. Honestly, have you guys been working already towards that Homestead goal back at the shop?
Yeah, I remember, I don't know, I got a text from my crew chief probably a month ago or so, and he sent me a picture of the chassis number. He says, it's chassis 300, a nice even number, and this is going to be your Homestead winner. And so I got all the faith in the world that those guys are just phenomenal. Sam, Ryan, his engineering staff right there. This has just been a dream year in the sense of, like, I just know when I come in the garage for every practice, when I go out, it's going to be better, because they have just really done a great job of giving me what I need.
Denny, you drive for a man that was an NFL Super Bowl winning coach in Joe Gibbs. You are good friends and play golf with Michael Jordan, arguably the best basketball player ever. Are there things that you, in your friendships with them and working with, that you gathered that helps make you the person, the champion now, or the person that could be a champion that have helped you along the way?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of great friends and a lot of championship pedigree, and I got a text from Michael last week after Texas and says, man, that's tough luck, but you still got an opportunity, and all it takes is an opportunity. So we'll see if we can't get him back down there. He came to Homestead in 2014 when I was in the Final Four and brought his whole family and supported us, and he's just, number one, been such a great friend of mine, beyond a business partner, but just a great friend, and I can't wait to share it with him.
Yeah, do you believe that you guys are a team of destiny and of fate? Because it feels that way this year.
I know.
It honestly feels that way this year. Do y'all have that same feeling inside this 11 organization?
I do, but it's like, I know I can't skip a step.
Yeah.
I have to still go out there and do what I'm supposed to do for it to all work. And that's when it feels good, is like when you do the steps that you're supposed to do, you put in the work, and the results follow. Results don't always follow, but when they do, it just feels so good and gratifying that, like, everything that you're doing is working.
Could part of that be, last year Joe Gibbs lost his son, JD, who basically brought you to Joe Gibbs Racing, and so there wouldn't be anything. You talked about it at the Daytona 500 and winning that, now to go on and win that championship in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Joe says, JD gets to go to Homestead, and so that's it's special to me, and I know that family has just been, I don't know. I don't know of any organization that's supported one driver as much as me from the very beginning. I mean, they did the footwork. JD was the one that went to the test at Hickory and stood there in 35-degree weather while it was nearly snowing and just watched me make laps. And it's like, they put in the work, and I'm really glad to be able to represent them, and can't wait to race my teammates and Kevin as well.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
You now have 37 career wins. You're going to go for career win number 38 on the last day of your 38th year. You turned 39 the day after the championship race. Can you imagine what that party
Just so you know, the date of my birthday is 11, 18, 19, 20, 19. All JGR numbers. So
man.
You're with the right team.
There it is,
like
people.
You're with the right team.
There we go. You called it.
That's it, man.
Hey, Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.